see. All right, well, let's get ourselves in a place where we can oil our joints. So I'm going to share some music and make sure you've got a drink and a non-slip mat. We will use a stick at one point as well. So I've got a nice relaxing yoga album this morning. Just checking the volumes here. Okay, can you hear that with me over the top? Give me a thumbs up. Great. All right, so we're going to start with some Tai Chi twists today. So if we can separate our feet like this, so they're just a little bit wider than our hips, we're going to bend the knees, and you let your tailbone hang down and just park your hands here on your belly and close your eyes for a moment and just breathe into your hands. Just feeling for the breath. And then I want you to let your arms drop and open your eyes as you look behind and twist, and look the other way and twist. Notice how far round can you see. And then notice now I'm turning towards a straighter leg, bending into the other leg. Transferring the body weight from one side to the other. And then rather than turning towards the straighter leg, we're now going to bend in. We're turning the body towards the bent leg. One more on each side. And then if we can circle with the foot, mobilizing the ankle and the wrists at the same time. I want you to spread your fingers and then bring them together. Spread them and then together. And then reversing and lengthening up the posture. So we elongate up through the crown of the head. Always pushing the ground away with the foot that's on the floor. Let's release and switch to the other side. See if you can keep your foot off the ground the whole time as we circle. Lengthening the posture and reversing back the other way. Creaky joints going on in the studio today. Alrighty, and then we're going to open the feet just a bit wider on the knees and soften the knees, letting the tailbone hang down. Or we just squeeze your pelvic floor and then release. And again, squeeze your pelvic floor and then release. And do it again. Squeeze, 2, 3, release. And we just squeeze your pelvic floor now as you lean and come to the center and relax your pelvic floor. So we're going to lean, squeeze your pelvic floor, and then relax it. And again, squeeze, release, let your head drop. 2 more. And final one. Opening the arms, and we're going to sweep the knee in and sweep the knee out. Testing our balance again on that supporting leg. To elongate your posture. Lengthening up through the crown of your head. Now, can you get the movement going a little bit bigger? Lifting the knee, a bit more height. Pointing through your toes. Mobilizing our hip. Testing our balance. Okay, and let's give that a go on the other side. So, knee up, in, and out. Keep going. Here comes Sue. Alrighty, last couple. And then circling the arms, big circle back. Really really straighten your arms. You're reaching for the ceiling. Open your chest. Breathing in as you reach, breathing out as you lower. And then reversing, so sweeping back to the front, the back to the front. And rising onto our tiptoes, arms wide, reaching into the fingers, turning to look behind and move to the center. And the other way, turning to look behind and move to the center. Breathe in, breathe out, and rotate, and center. And the other way, wobbling optional. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, exhale, reaching into the fingers. And the other way. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, so if you can join me down on the mat, breathe in and breathe out. Are you looking for online classes that support you with getting more me time? You want to get supple, strong, feel less stressed, get in the driving seat, but actually perhaps you've noticed that following videos on YouTube isn't actually helping you commit. It's not like the teacher reaches out and says, correct your hips, bring your knee back, move your posture back. And this is the problem. So, of course, you can hit subscribe to get more from the Zigs YouTube channel. But let's face it, we're not going to send our children to a school without a teacher or a tutor. I mean, what's their life going to be like if they're going to learn in that way? So my name's Claire Louise Freeman. I'm the business owner of Zigs Exercise, and I like to encourage you to join me and my community online, where we get together via Zoom and we practice Pilates conditioning, yoga stretches, mobility. And the thing is, we get to actually talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting your time off during holidays. It's the commitment that gets the motivation. So why wait? Book in, give me a call, and I'll see you on the other. Talk through this stuff. We get to do it together. And to me, consistently doing it together is the thing that gives us much, much better results than if we're left flailing around in front of a video trying to do it all by ourselves. So if you'd like more information about joining me and others, please reach out, get in touch. You can work with us morning, evening, from the comfort of your own home. It's great because you get all the kit together at home, and it does help you to practice in between as well. So I'm offering a complimentary kickstart call. We can talk through what's getting in the way, you know, why it's not worked so far. And sometimes the hardest bit is actually just picking up the phone and talking it through. So brave pants on. I work with all sorts of people from various walks of life, different shapes and sizes. And often people who do work with me do it because they say that I do it in a very non-judgmental way. Of course, it's free to talk, so you can click the link in the description box below, and we can get to know each other and see if we're a good fit. There's no pressure here. On the call, I'll listen in to, you know, what your need support with, what your personal needs are, and I can answer any of your questions about our online Pilates and yoga where we do it together in community. Why wait? This stuff doesn't get any easier as we get older. We work with lots of busy parents, grandparents, business owners, NHS professionals, private school teachers, regular school teachers. So if that feels like you and you need that support and accountability on getting it done, that's the thing. If we've got the sessions booked in regularly, that means we're much more likely to show up. And it's that regularity that people are often missing. You know, they take, have a drink if you need one. Okay. So I'd like you to tuck your knees. So you hug your knees to your chest. Hi, Sue. Maybe tuck and then tap. Breathe out and tuck. Breathe in and tap. Okay, just keep your head on the floor for level 1 or level 2. We're going to rock up to a seated position. Start to work the core a little more. Can you elongate your posture when you're at the top? You lengthen up through the crown of your head. So think lifting here in your rib cage to help, often what I'm calling now the digital rib cage, where it sort of drops down a lot. Try to elevate that. And then for more advanced, we're going to do the legs akimbo version today. So we go wide, in, and then roll. And we do 4 more. Breathe. Final one. And then from here, if we can roll onto our front. And hands just a bit wider than your shoulders. Watch where my foot goes. This one's called the scorpion. So the foot's going to lift across, tap down on the opposite side of the body like that. We tap, keeping the hands on the floor. So keeping your hands where they are. That's it. Maybe hands a little bit lower, Angela, down there. That's it. Look, gradually moving the foot towards the back of the head. Do you remember as a child being able to put my toes on the back of my head? Can we do 4 more? And last one. Okay, let's release. And can you meet me in a downward dog? So lifting the tailbone, hands just slightly wider than the shoulder, softening the shoulder, pushing the heels down. Can you lift your tailbone as you do it? Pressing your heel down on one side as you flex your toes on the other, and then switching over to the other side. Let's do that again. Breathe. Pushing down, spreading the toes out, and just having a chat and a check-in with your calves and your feet. How are they feeling today? Your calves could speak to you. What would they be saying to you right now? Is it ouch, or is it or is it, oh yes, thanks for a nice stretch. And one more on each side. Alrighty, then from here we're gonna lower into a plank. So you can either do the half plank where you're on your elbows and your knees like this, or more advanced we'll do on the toes. And we're gonna rock forwards and then back. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep your chest open and your shoulders pulled down. Last couple, and then if you can find a foam roller, if you pop your roller just behind you, so you're in a seated position, if you use that. Oops, that was unrehearsed. Just demolishing the studio. Okay, so if we can aim the roll about halfway down. If it's particularly tight, you might want to do it without a weight, or if you want to use the weight, you can here behind your neck. If you're already fairly bendy there. So aim about halfway down the back with a roll, eye gaze looking behind. And then if you tuck your bottom under, Angela's sunbathing in the studio. We're going to breathe in as we drop back. And then exhale as we lift, tucking the tailbone. Allow the weight of the head to drop a little bit, but still supporting with the hands. Exhaling and lifting. Inhaling and lowering. And then moving the roll just an inch higher up the back. And dropping into it. Exhaling, coming up and tilting the pelvis under. Breathing in as we drop back. Breathing out on the lift. And last one here. And then going just a little bit higher up the back. Exhaling and lifting. Inhaling and lowering. So final one. All right, and then from here, we're going to move into some lunges. So if we come up to standing, now you might do these with a weight. So help yourself if you want to do them weighted, or you can do them without the weight. So working on mobilizing our hips, building stamina in the legs. So we want a nice big stride, 1 foot forward and tiptoe on the back leg. We're going to tuck the tailbone under as we come down, down. And think of elongating through your posture as you lower, lower, hold. We lift the shoulders up to the ears, squeeze the blades, press the blades down. And do that again, up to your ears, squeeze and press the blades down. One more time, up, squeeze and down. And straightening out the front leg. And let's do that again. So coming down, squaring our hip bones up, lifting the rib cage, so we elongate the posture. Up with the shoulders, squeeze and down. Breathe in as you lift your shoulders. Exhale as you press them down. Do it again. And straightening out through the front leg. We're going to do that one more time. Coming down, lifting the shoulder, squeeze and down. Breathe. And last time on this side. Okay, so let's release off and we're going to turn around and do the same, but facing the other way. So tippy toe on the back foot. Try and tilt the tailbone under so that your shoulders stack directly above your hip as you lower. Down, down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, squeezing and pressing down. And do it again. Practicing that deeper breath helps to activate all the muscles around the rib cage and the lungs. And straightening out our front leg and dipping into it again. Breathe in as you lift. Exhale as you press your blades down. And final one. Can we straighten the front leg and bend into it again? Shoulders coming up, squeeze and down. And last one. And let's release and give our legs a bit of a shake. Okay, now's a good time to have a drink. So grab some water. Actually, I'm having a green tea this morning. Let's move down to our backs, still with the foam roller. So we're going to use the roller to test our core stability. So I'd like you to lie down on your roll. So you've got your bottom at one end, head at the other. And can we scissor the leg? So we're going to imprint the lower back into the roll. Notice the arms are hovered, but the fingers are lightly down. And then alternating the leg. So as one comes up, the other leg comes down for our level 2 option. Or level 3, we're going to do it like this. We bring one knee towards the chest and tap the other heel on the floor or somewhere in between, depending on where you're at. So find your own way of moving. Keeping a little bit of tuck in the tailbone, so tilting your pelvis slightly to help activate the abdominals. I'm going to point the toes for 2 and then flex them for 2. So you point for 2, relax your shoulders, flex for 2. One more pointing, one lot more flexing. Relax your shoulders. Okay, good job. From here, we're going to roll to our side. We're going to move into some side bends. So we've got the elbow down on the bottom arm, bent leg. We're going to lock the shoulder down with a little bit of lift in the waist. Hold, 2, 3, and then lower. You can either do this version where your knees are slightly in front, or we're going to take the knees a little bit further back. Squeeze and make a fist on your bottom hand. Try to press your shoulder blade down. Now, for most of you, that may feel like enough. For more advanced, we're going to bring it up onto the hand. Pressing the blade down. And then releasing. So pressing the blade down and then releasing. We can also add a straight leg for tougher version. One more time. Alrighty, let's release and give our shoulders a bit of a roll, and then give that a go on the elbow to start with on the other side. So stamina building for the shoulder and the side of the body. Lock the blade down so that we're working on the stability muscles by doing that press down action. And then can we lift the hip and then lower? And again, lift and lower. Breathe. Opening the chest. If we want to, we can bring the knees a little further back and push the hips up and bring it down. More advanced, we come up and press into the shoulder, opening the chest and lowering. Breathe. Keeping the head back, because often the head will sort of default into forward lean. So head in line. If you've got your bottom against a wall, you'd want to get your head sort of back to the wall as well. We're going to do 2 more. And final one. And then from here, we're going to turn so we open the knees. Slide the hands towards the front edge of the mat, splaying the fingers, and then resting the forehead on the ground as we part the bottom back towards the heels. Keep spreading the fingers and pressing the palms down. So we're aiming for a bit of an armpit stretch, really. Pushing the ground, pushing down into the ground, breathing deeply. Pushing the bottom back to the heels, breathing deeply. Alrighty then, from here, we're going to bring our right foot forwards and keep our opposite hand on the floor. Lengthening up with the top arm. Straighten out the back leg so we're on our tiptoes on that back leg. Allowing the hip bones to drop a little bit. Pushing the ground away with a flat hand on that bottom hand. Pressing our shoulders down away from our ears. Again, to activate our stability muscles there. Breathe. And just using this exercise as a reminder to focus on activating those stability muscles throughout our day, because it's one thing doing them in class, we're going to bring that top hand down, but it's another thing committing through it and being mindful of it throughout our day. Let's go wide with our feet, just exploring the stretch and rocking the body weight just slightly back into the heels, and then rocking the body weight into the toes. Again, back to the heels, and then into the toes. And one more time, breathe. And then from here, I'm going to turn around. So we're now facing towards the other foot. Just noticing I've lost toenail number 3 after my Emily's Gift 38-mile walk. Still, feet are in recovery. Let's lengthen up. I'm sure you needed to know a report on my toenails. Good to notice what's going on there. Painted the toes in the same colour as the blood blisters. Make them look a bit prettier. We actually raised over 10,000 as a group though, so good collaborative effort. Alrighty, so from here we're going to bring that top hand down and we're going to move to a downward dog. So if you can meet me in the dog, walking the feet back, and there's a gap between the heel and the floor, and then applying pressure down through the heels, closing the eyes, breathing in through the nose, into the belly, a long exhale out. And again, deep breath in through the nose, and a long exhale out through the mouth. Just using this breath to remind us of sort of physiological changes that deep breathing brings in terms of helping our muscles repair as we relax into a more calm state with the breath. We're going to walk our hands in to touch our toes, folding the body in half, and from here I'd like you to do this and get hold of each elbow. So you place your hands on each elbow. We're just going to swing from one side to the other, so rocking body weight from left to the right foot, hanging down, really letting go of your shoulders, letting go of your neck and your head. Allow it to hang loose. And then turning, so we rotate like this, and a bit of twist around, noticing where we feel that, keeping some body weight in the heels of the feet. Breathe. Alrighty, so from here, let your arms hang floppy loose and then unfold like you're rolling your spine up a wall bone by bone and elongating your posture at the top. So now's a good time to top up and have a drink. And if you could find some weights, we'll do some work for our arms and our upper body as we do some squat technique. Not had a drink for a while, but my friend is visiting, so I did have a couple of cheeky glasses of prosecco last night, and actually it was just that little reminder I needed of how disruptive alcohol can be for your sleep pattern, on top of the dog howling at 1 and 3 a.m. So yeah, sat up and read the chimp paradox for 2 hours in the night. But there you go. I'm sure it will hit me later. Feeling all right at the moment. So we're going to go wide with the feet, so just slightly wider than the hip. And if we can fold the weight towards the shoulder, and I want you to get some body weight back in your heels, arcing the bottom backwards, noticing what does your back do as you sit into the squat? Does it sort of go into overarch, or can you pull your belly button muscle in a little bit? So there's a sense of lengthening in the lower back. And if you've got that, next level, we had some reach forwards, coming back in. Yeah, as you come down, we want to try and get the bottom just above the knee height, yeah? Or more advanced, we add some reach with the arms by the ears. Had friends with kids around last night, and we were making good use of the monkey bars. Definitely feeling the arms today. And we do 3 more. Breathe. Aiming the knees towards the smaller toe side. And final one. We straighten the arms. Alrighty, resting off. And I'd like you to find a stick next. Have another drink. If you need one, it's heating up. Thank you. Okay. So, some shoulder mobilization. If this is tough for you, just have your thumbs on and push the bar away behind. You can use bands if you need to. But over time, work at getting the fingers one by one to grip. And over time, keeping the little finger side on there as we get to the back. Just being aware of where you're at with these. So bringing the stick down behind to touch at the bottom, even if it means peeling your fingers off a bit to start with. Adding a rise to our tiptoes and rocking back to our heels. And then from here, we're gonna turn the hands so that we've got our thumbs together that way. Okay, so thumbs touching, and then straightening the arms out the back. Now there'll be a tendency for the shoulder to do this and sort of round forward. Open your collarbones and lift your breastbone up. Squeeze your blades together. You squeeze the blades as you lift and then lower. And again, work at the height, but pressing the blade back. Chin up, eye gaze up, sort of stretching into the throat and the neck, and then dropping down. And again, squeezing, chin up, and then down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, lowering. And Do it again. Get a bit more height. And as you do it, get the feeling like you're trying to pull the stick apart. So great for the upper back of the arm, often known as the bingo wings. We're going to do 2 more. Play bingo for a while. And final one. Probably played bingo once in my life, if I'm honest. Okay, so have another drink. Now we're going to do some press-ups. We'll start with some basic ones on the floor. If the floor ones feel too much for you, then a slightly easier version is to do it here so that you've got your feet sort of angled back and you're going to lean into the wall and do it this way. Okay, so that's kind of your level 1 option today. And then those of you who want to do the floor ones, take the hands slightly wider than the chest. Try to let your elbows squeeze in rather than your elbows angling out. So let your breastbone lead the way. More advanced, we could do them on our toes. You're somewhere in between. You could do one on your toes and then one on your knees. Can we do 3 more? Breathe. And last one. We're gonna meet up in a groin stretch. So open our knees quite wide with the elbows down on the floor and a little bit of arch in our lower back. Pushing the bottom back to the heels until we feel a bit of stretch there. Deep breath. And let's release off. Okay, and then from here, moving to our downward dog, pressing our heel down on the foot that's on the floor, but then adding a bit of lift here with our back leg. Straighten that bottom leg, but get some height in the top leg and reach the toes. So you're really pointing through your toes, making your foot activate. Getting height on that back leg and then slowly bringing that leg down, pressing the heel down, and then pointing your toes and lifting the legs, straightening the knee on both legs really, and pointing through the toes on the top one, breathing into your belly. And bringing that foot down, we're going to take a walk with our feet to our hands. And if you can meet me down on the back. Taking the opposite arm away from the leg. Moving back into our Pilates core conditioning. So from here, opposite arm over the head to the leg that's extending. Have a look for level 2. So for level 1, the feet start flat on the floor like this. For level 2, knees are starting here at 90 degrees. Moving back to the bent leg and then extending out. For our third, more advanced option, we've got both legs in the air, tapping one heel on the floor. Breathe. Flexing the feet and then pointing the toes. Flexing, pointing. And last couple. Final one. And if we bend the knees, hug the knees, the chest, I'd like you to keep your hands on top of your knees like this and just circle your lower back around. Chatting to a mum yesterday that I've not seen for quite some time, and they'd had their bloods done, and their iron was low, their B12 was low, and just finding exercise exhausting. And it was just that sort of reminder of how that nutrition really does fuel our energy, and sometimes having those tests, how important it is in getting the right support. Let's reverse back the other way, closing the eyes and just allowing the lower back to sort of relax into the ground as we circle. We're talking about how minefield it is sometimes in the supermarket when you're trying to navigate your kids away from the ultra processed foods and focused on the healthier stuff, which is tricky when some of it's disappearing from our supermarkets. In some, it's never really been there. Let's place our feet down, and we're going to curl up. So if it's tricky to curl yourself up, then use a strap underneath your feet. We're going to use it to pull ourselves down and up, lifting the chest, moving the arms back by the ears. Really enjoying our Riverford boxes at the moment. Seem to have an abundance of various vegetables. Sometimes I think, oh, I haven't bought that in years. Lots of asparagus lately. Tray bake yesterday, which was tasty. On the challenge this month, we've been doing our steps challenge, but for our new challenge for June, we're going to be looking at our food shopping lists, thinking about habits of change with our way we shop. If it's getting easier to get up and down, then you could perhaps bring a weight in for more advanced. Angela's having a sunbathe. Okay, try it here like this. So you pull that way. That's fine. Come back to one of your core exercises then. Exhaling as you come up. Inhaling as you lower. Can we do 3 more? And final one. Okay, so I'd like you to come up to standing and find a bit of wall space. And if you can bring your body against the wall so that you literally stand beside it like this. You've got your arm against the wall, your feet as close to the wall as you can. And then the leg that's on the inner part of the room, we're going to step that out. You're going to push the back of your hand into the wall. So you apply pressure as if you're trying to push the wall away from you. And we're going to lean the head away from the wall. Away is the opposite way, Lynn. And then let's release and do that again. So push the back of your hand into the wall, lean your head away from the wall. Away from the wall for you, Lynn, is the opposite way. There we are. And let's release and do that again. So push with the back of your hand, press your shoulders down and lean your head away from the wall. We're there now. Breathing deeply. Okay, let's release. And we're going to turn around. So get your feet as close to the wall as you can, arm to the wall so you're hunched against it. And then open that foot out and push with the back of your hand, leaning your head away from the wall again. Allow your head to drop as you keep pushing with the back of your hand and spread out your fingers. You splay them, get your little finger as well as your thumb against the wall, and then let's release and do that again. So pushing into the wall quite firmly, pressing the blades down the back and lifting the rib cage a little bit. So lean the head, breathe. Just checking in with our body weight. Have we got some body weight in our heels as well as the front of our foot? And let's release. And I'm just going to do that one more time. So push, press your shoulders down, open your collarbones as you lean your head. Breathe. And release. Okay, if you can find a stretchy band now. Yeah. Try that one. Just one. Okay, so we're going to take the band behind. So you've got it taut across your back. So your hands are by your top of your hip. And then squeeze your elbows in and push the band out to the side. Keeping lifted in your chest. Holding for a few seconds and then coming back in. And do it again. Squeeze in with your elbow. Reach. And coming back in. Adding a rise onto tiptoe. Breathing in. And breathing out. And again, squeeze your elbows in. And release. The elbows coming in as you take your hands out sideways. Now you can either keep going with this version or we're going to hold and rotate. Move to the center and come back in. And again, and rotate. One more each side. Breathe. And final one. And normal for it to feel quite tough towards the end of the set if it's the right sort of level for you. Alrighty, resting off, giving your shoulders a little roll out. And if you can come down onto your back. Well done. Okay, so if you put your hands just on top of your belly, closing your eyes, breathing into your hands, let your hands sort of fill up with air. Pause and hold your breath for a moment, and then a longer exhale. We're going to do a 4, 5, 6 breath. So breathing in for the count of 4, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In for 4, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, exhaling for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. In for 4. Hold for 5. Exhale for 6. In for 4. Hold. Exhale. Let your breathing settle back to its natural pattern. Noticing how you're feeling right now. Allow your attention to drift a little bit. As you drift, I want you to visualize yourself walking in one of your favorite places to walk in nature at this time of year. What is it about that place that makes it one of your favorite places to hang out in nature? The colors of that space, like the energy of that space, the sounds, the smells, the feel of the place. Finding yourself at any point mentally, you can go and be in that place. As you bring your attention back into the room, taking a moment to sort of logically think through how you can plan out over the next few days and over the weekend to keep some of this energy rolling, and logical steps that we need to map out. Support our health and our well-being and making of progress. As you open your eyes, I'd like you to notice what's in the periphery of your vision. And then when you're ready, if you can roll over to your side and take your time coming up. And if we can have a regroup and a chat and a check-in.